What's up, dancer family? Welcome back to the Yoga for Dancers YouTube channel. Welcome to class, y'all. I'm Roxie. If this is your first time here, welcome to the community. You have landed in the space of dancers learning to take care of their body and really invest in the longevity of their health so that they can keep dancing for as long as possible, keep doing what y'all love to do. And today's class is gonna be really, really potent. This is something I get lots of questions from you guys and slide into my DMs, having like back pain, of course. Don't think I know any dancers who don't have like back pain issues. So today we're really gonna work on balancing and stabilizing the spine. We're going to be doing a lot of work with the fascia so that we're not, stuck in certain holding patterns that are causing strain or kind of compacting the spine or just causing any like sticky, not great feelings along the vertebra. We're going to be working with some nerve flossing as well, especially around like the neck and shoulders and in the low back and the sacrum and pelvis so that we can free up nerves along our fascia and in our connective tissue so that we can move with more liberation in our body, get rid of any sticky, stuck, kind of painful, twingy sensations along the whole spinal channel so that you can move with more freedom in class, keeping your spine really safe and injury-free. So we'll be focusing a lot on working on our active and passive spinal flexibility so that you can really get some nice mobility, work on your back bends, and work on being able to stabilize your spine and your sacrum while you're moving around with your legs and your limbs flying, doing all the things you're doing in dance. We really want like our central channel, our deep core, and our spine and sacrum to be healthy and be really stabilized. When it comes to our sacrum and our pelvis, this is like the base, the foundation of our entire spinal channel. So we really need to make sure that our sacrum is supported. Our sacroiliac joint, which is the place where our two hip bones come together here at the lowest part of our spine, in these fused vertebrae down here, that really isn't supposed to move. That needs to be very like strong and sturdy and like locked into place. And a lot of times so much of our lower back pain, sciatica pain up the whole spine really comes from something being just slightly off in our SI joint. So we really want to make sure that our muscles, our deep core, our pelvic floor, our glutes, our fascia, everything is lined up and working together to support our sacrum, to really lock it into place, really stabilize it so that even when we're doing all the crazy flips and tricks and moves, whatever you want to do, we want like our deepest inner channel and base of our spine and our spinal cord and where all of our nerves are coming out of to be really supported and stable. That was a mouthful. Stability for your spine and sacrum is what we're here to do today. This will really make a difference in your dance classes and how your back, specifically your low back and your neck, feel later on, so you don't get any of that like twingy pain or sciatic nerve pain. Yeah, it's gonna be real good. You're gonna feel really good after this. So a couple things you're gonna need: something to roll your feet out. I love these like cylinder ball or foot rolly things, but if you have a ball, like a spiky ball, you can use that too. Grab either a bolster or some kind of pillows for a little shavasana pose that we'll do at the end, and then grab something like either a mop or a broom or a Swiffer or like even a golf club, something that's long, strong, and sturdy. So we're gonna first, before we get into anything, we are going to align the sacrum. So just like I said before, if anything is even just the littlest bit off in the sacrum, can cause a ripple effect of not so good, get out of here, ant, of not so good movement up the spine. So before we even get into moving our spine today, we're gonna do a little exercise that can just ever so slightly kind of get your sacrum back in alignment so that we are moving from a stable, balanced, secure place. All right, my friends, we're gonna do this, take care of our spines, feel ooey gooey, yummy, free, and liberated. Yes, ma'am. So grab those props and meet me on your back on the floor. I'm gonna turn here and kind of show you this first exercise that we are gonna do for aligning your sacrum. So with your stick or whatever you have, you want to put it in between your legs. So it doesn't matter, we'll start with the right leg on top first. So the broom is behind the right hamstring and on top of the left quad. So what you're gonna do here, make sure you have room, you're gonna kind of bring your legs up to a tabletop here and hold on to the stick. Yeah, you guys can see me? Okay. And so what you're gonna do is, first of all, press your low back to the floor, use your core to really glue it to the floor really strong. And then you're going to, with your left leg, push, you're trying to push the broom this way, and with your right leg, you're gonna push away. So you got this push-pull action, your hands are holding it stable. So we're gonna hold this for 5 seconds. So inhale, exhale, low back to the floor, and push-pull. Squeezing your glutes, squeeze your muscles evenly for 5, 4, keep that bar steady, 3, 2, 1, beautiful, release, and switching sides. And now what we're doing, my friends, here is we're using our muscular activation to manipulate the joint, okay? We need to use our muscles to kind of move that joint back into place. So this is one way to go about that. So other side, left leg front, right leg behind, and push, pull, squeeze. For 5, pull the core in, squeeze the glutes, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. We'll go ahead, switch sides again. Now it's not gonna feel like you're doing anything. We're not gonna really feel that sacrum move at all, but this will make a subtle difference in the rest of our practice. So other side again, and let's squeeze, push, pull for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and other side. Push, pull for 5, 4, squeeze your booty, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Okay, so put that aside. Okay, just had to move the camera back so y'all can see me. Go ahead and grab your little rolly thingy, and we're gonna come standing and just take a moment here to ground in and start rolling out the feet so that we can really melt our whole foot into the ground and have that really stable base through our feet, so we can really feel balanced and stabilized. The foot, just like the pelvis, is one of those like foundational parts of our body where if our weight is in a weird place, or we're not fully like activating and supporting ourselves and equally distributing our weight and using the whole base of the foot, it's just gonna create a ripple effect up through the whole body. So we want our feet to be very like sensitive and alive and awake, and really activate that kinetic energy from the bottom of the feet. Activate all of the little pressure points that we have, acupressure points on the foot that connect up through the rest of the body. So while we're rolling out here, just take a moment to breathe, maybe even just like get in touch with your spine, feel along the vertebra here. Feel your hip bones, just really activating all of your proprioceptive awareness senses. So being able to really feel what's going on in your body, how your body is moving through space, where the breath is moving in the body, all of these really subtle awarenesses that'll help us with our alignment so that we can move really well here on the mat and build really good habits that will translate off of the mat and into the dance studio. Beautiful, so melt that right foot into the ground, feels nice, spread those toes, and let's roll up the left side here. Feel into your sacrum here, like find that place where your sacrum, your pelvis turn into the low back, just kind of feeling up the spine. Feel your ribs. Another thing we're going to want to really pay attention to in class here is making sure we are not letting our ribs flare out and kind of shutting off the core. We really want the ribs to be in and contained, unless we're doing a really crazy back bend. But we'll get into more of the ins and outs and specifics of that in just a moment. Breathing deep, shake out your hands, relax the shoulders, releasing any stress. Beautiful. All right. So mounting those feet into the floor. Spread your toes so you have a really nice wide base. Make sure that you are not rolling in on your arches. We don't want to be collapsing in at all or rolling out, because that will affect our sacrum and how our pelvis is tilted and how it can support our spine. So feet under the hips, toes spread, weight evenly distributed between the heel and all of the toes, and feeling a slight lift up through the arch. So we're not just hanging out and collapsing, we are lifted, plugging down to the floor to lift up. And now with your hands out to your side, I want you to spread your fingers and really reach to a diagonal here. And again, no arching with the ribs, we're not doing this. We are reaching out, taking that neutral pelvis, energy through the fingertips. We'll start with a little bit of nerve flossing and fascia melting through the neck here. So I want you to, with your nose, begin to draw a big circle in the air in front of you, keeping energy going out and down through those hands. You might feel a little bit of a burning sensation down through the hand and fingers a little bit, through the forearms. If you would like to intensify that, you can go ahead and reach your fingertips back behind you and flex from the wrists as you do this. And that sensation you are getting is the fascia and some of the nerves flossing through it. And when I'm saying flossing the nerves, I just mean we're kind of stretching and releasing and getting a little movement in them and unsticking the nerves from the fascia. Beautiful. And then from here, you're gonna flip in. So flex your hands the other way, curl your fingers in, rotate. So you got this kind of little weird position here, kind of stretching through the forearm. We're gonna do the same thing. And really rotate from the shoulder down. So take this little like whoop, and then just circling the neck. And trying to not let the shoulders move here, keeping them down and out, really stable, and just moving from the neck. Beautiful, shake that out. Time to awaken the fascia of the front and back body. So finding that balance within the feet. Find that neutral pelvis, so we're not arching and we're not tucking, but our tailbone is dropping down towards the floor as we slightly pull up through the lower core. You're gonna inhale, arms up, and now as you do this, you want your palms facing forward. So we're really trying to open this whole entire front line of fascia from the fingertips all the way down the front body. So you're gonna inhale, and now I want you to squeeze the booty, press the hips forward, and without arching and just dropping into the back like this, we want to lengthen, keep those ribs in, and open up here, flexing. So I'm more squeezing and pushing my hips forward than arching and opening up through the ribs, okay? So squeeze, now tuck the pelvis a little bit, open up, lengthen, create that space. And exhale, bring your hands behind your head, tuck your chin to your chest. You're gonna begin to roll down one vertebra at a time. Rounding down slowly, pull your belly button into your spine. Dropping down into a forward fold and release your hands. Now when you get into this forward fold here, shift your weight to the front of your toes. Don't be hanging out back here in your heels, locking into your knees. We want to come forward and then relax. So we're shifting our weight into the balls of the feet here. Have a little micro bend in the knees. Shake the neck out now. Now we're gonna go through this flow 3 more times, okay? So moving nice and slow, moving with the breath, pull your core in, ripple back up. And then balancing the weight in the feet as you come up. Reach up, squeeze the glutes, press the hips forward, open up, flex from the wrists. And now hands behind the head, drop the chin to your chest. Now you're rolling down pretty slowly, so you might feel some of that fascial burning sensation down the whole spine and even into the hamstrings a little bit. Just keep breathing through it, and then once you drop fully to the bottom, shift your weight forward into the toes. And then rolling back up. As you come up, squeeze the glutes, press the hips forward, lift up and back, keeping those ribs closed, not collapsing. Lengthen as you lift. And dropping. You might find as you do this a couple times now, you're finding a little more openness. You can go a little bit deeper. And pull the core in as you ripple back up. Squeeze the glutes. Lengthen, create that space, and then arch back. And last time, dropping down. Really curling in. And notice if your body wants to kind of pull you to one side, make sure that you are really going straight down the center. You're not shifting your weight at all to bypass any tighter, sticky spots. Beautiful, rolling back up. Now when you get to the top, I want you to heel toe your feet out as wide as your mat. Turn your toes out. Okay, now we're gonna take this again with a slight turn out with the feet wider apart. Inhale, arching back. Again, squeeze and tuck. We wanna create that space in the lower back. And then lift up and back. And drop the chin to your chest. And now as you roll down, you're gonna bend and drop into a malasana, really curling the top of your head to your tailbone here. So you're really trying to create that round in the spine. But don't let your knees collapse in. Keep them pressing out. Squeeze your glutes. Keep that balanced weight throughout your feet. Don't let your arch collapse. And then rolling back up, pressing back up, opening up, core in, glutes squeezed. And exhale, rolling down. Dropping into that malasana, knees pressing out. And core in, nice and open through the spine here, okay? Taking a moment, drop the shoulders down and back and use the elbows to press the knees out, but still squeezing the glutes and using those rotator muscles here to support you. Breathing. Take a few breaths into the belly here. Inhale, open to the left. And that twist through the spine, so really feel that rotation is coming from the core and the spine. And then the arms are just an extension of that. Lengthening out through the fingers. Exhale, center. Other side, inhale, twist from the core, and then let the arms just expand out from there. Beautiful. All right, dropping your booty to the floor, coming onto your back here. All right, so let's take a little happy baby here. A nice little rock side to side, massaging out your low back on the floor. Nice big deep breath, staying grounded in your body. All right, beautiful. Now extend that left leg to the ground, right knee hugs in, and take a twist here. Now we're going to do a little bit of a mantra here to really tune into our vagus nerve. This nerve is our body's nerve superhighway that really controls so much of our mental state and our physical state and how well our body is functioning. It'll really help you drop into a nice, calm state. So what we're gonna do is we want to tone the nerve by vibrating our vocal cords. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take Bumble Bee Breath, which is sort of like oming, but keeping your mouth shut the whole time. So I'll show you what we're gonna do. We're gonna inhale, reach forward. So in that twist, reach that right arm across the body here, meet up with the left, inhale. You're gonna exhale and Bumble Bee Breath. So it's like an ohm, but keeping your mouth shut. So it sounds like the buzzing of a bee. And you're going to take the entire length of that breath to work on that thoracic mobility through the twist here, okay? So inhaling, exhale. Inhale. And if you'd like, you can also keep your knees stacked here. That can also feel nice. Instead of having that bottom leg straight, exhale. Now what we're doing is we're signaling to our autonomic nervous system that it is time to rest and recover, rejuvenate, digest. Beautiful, come to the center, we'll take the other side, letting your knees fall over if you want 1 or 2, and inhale, reach across, exhale. Inhale. Last time. Beautiful. Okay, coming back to center, feet nice and even. We are going to squeeze, tuck the pelvis, peel the tailbone off the floor, ripple up into a nice strong bridge here. Really squeezing from the glutes, making sure that one hip is not lower, that you are really nice and even. And exhale, roll back down. Inhale, squeeze, lift, peel off. Tailbone is the first thing to come off and the last thing to roll back down. If you'd like to work on your balance more, bring your hands together up above and really work on that stabilization. Making sure that you're not kind of leaning to one side at all, but everything is really straight and balanced. And even at the top here, we're not letting our low back drop. We are really tucking, like really get that pubic bone forwards. And roll back down. Pressing into the heels so that you can get a little bit more activation through the glutes here. Spread your toes on the floor and exhale, roll down. This is also one of those moves that will really stabilize the sacrum. Squeeze. Moving with the breath here. Inhale. Feeling your glutes, making sure that both are working evenly. You should feel them working here. If you're really working your glutes and really using that core to also really tuck that pelvis, you should be feeling a burn here, even though this is a very simple exercise. Beautiful. Now squeezing at the top here, bringing your hands for a supportive base underneath your sacrum. We are going to engage your core, kick up into a shoulder stand here, okay? So using your core and your glutes here to support your spine. Really think about not just hanging out here, but really lengthening upwards. Point your toes, really reach, reach, reach up towards the ceiling. This is also going to put a gentle bit of pressure on that vagus nerve in our neck, which will help our body de-stress even more. Beautiful. You can drop one leg down behind you, take a little stretch here, still reaching that leg that's in the air up and away, create that space. And go ahead and switch, moving nice and slow. Let that top leg really reach and point active. Beautiful, and gently roll back down, pull your core in, and we're gonna rock up to a tabletop here. All right, tabletop, y'all know what's coming, some cat-cow here. So I want you to first of all Make sure that just like with the feet, we're doing the same thing with the hands, evenly distributing your weight, lifting up through the palm of the hand and not just collapsing. Find the lightness here. Also not dropping in your shoulders or locking into your elbows. You want to be lifted. Using the core, inhale. Do a little baby cow here. And don't just drop your head back. Really see if you can lengthen and lift through the neck. Create that space. Exhale, belly button to spine, round. Drop the head. Inhale. Exhale. Staying lifted through the shoulders. Nice and light. Beautiful. And take a moment here to take some organic movement through the spine, but again, staying lifted and light through those arms. Don't just dump anywhere. Stay lifted and light through this movement. Again, just taking a moment here to really move with the breath and get any stagnant, stuck energy out of the spine. Really get organic and fluid here. Beautiful, and now time to stabilize. Come back to that supported, strong, lifted tabletop, and I want you to pull your core in. The most important thing to pay attention to here is to not let this low back drop start to happen. Your ribs start to flare out, okay? You need to pull the core in and ribs in. And stay lifted, so no dropping and sagging. See what's happening throughout my whole body. We want to press into the floor. Nice and strong, and then from the top of your head to your tailbone, lengthen out. So this should feel really, really active. We're not just hanging out here. Time to do everyone's favorite spine stabilizers. These are really, really hard to do correctly, but they are so, so good for your spine and so good for your strength and technique as well. So what we're gonna do is reach out that right arm and left leg here. And now here's where you need to make sure that you're not doing this just to get your leg higher, okay? You need to really pull that core in so that you have to work from the booty and not just use your low back to compensate here, okay? And then reach forward, lengthen. What we're gonna do here, we are going to tap and lift, contract. Inhale, reach, tap, lift, exhale, and so you really want, as you extend out, to be thinking about lengthening this way, like out and away, rather than up, okay? So really pull your core in, make sure here to stabilize the spine that you're not tilting and opening any weird way. Through the sacrum, we want it to be very stable, okay? Let's do this, we're gonna move nice and slow. I want you to move with your breath and focus on the quality of the movement rather than doing it at the same speed as me, okay? So really even close your eyes here and get into your body. So, inhale on the lengthen, tap, lift, exhale on the contraction. Really be hard on yourself here that you are not cheating and dropping through the low back to lift that leg. You want to feel like you are trying to keep going, like you're trying to tuck that pelvis just like we were doing in the bridge, using the core and the glutes to really tuck that pelvis. Create that space in the low back. Lengthen, lengthen, and then use the core to support that space and length. This is a really great exercise to record yourself doing and watch back later, or watch yourself in a mirror so you can really make sure that you're not doing this. Beautiful. Now this time as we extend out, now you can find that arch. We're going to reach back for that foot and inhale, lengthen to lift here. Do a little half bow stretch. Press into the floor, stay lifted through that left side. And release with control. Beautiful, shake out that left hand. I'm gonna take the same thing on the other side. So, you know what to do. Lifted, core in, find the balance. This exercise is so good because it works your balance, your coordination, your mind to muscle connection, and of course the core and booty. So let's go. And when you exhale, really contract, really pull that belly button into spine, and really round. How y'all doing? Oh, these are hard to talk in. I swear, these are like one of the most important exercises, but one of my least favorite to do. Takes some discipline. These are super good to do as a warm-up before any class. To really stabilize your spine and get your muscles working. All right, last time we'll lengthen. And now bend that leg, reach back, and now you can arch. Good job, y'all. Inhale, lengthen. Release with control, booty, booty, booty. Bring your forearms down to the floor, keep them nice and parallel. And we're gonna come into a forearm plank here, so make sure your butt is not in the air like this, and that your hips aren't dropping. Be nice and centered here, pulling the belly button up and in, don't let it drop, take a look at it here, and then find that length in your spine. So you wanna think about the tailbone and the top of your head reaching away from each other as you are pressing into the floor with your hands. And then to make it even harder, think about drawing your elbows and toes together like you're trying to bubble up your mat in the center. Keep those hips level and pull the belly button in. So it's very, very active. Squeezing the glutes here, lengthen, and then use your muscles to support that length. Breathe here. So good for your whole spine. Pull that belly button up, 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 up. Press into the floor for 5. Press 4. Press 3. Press 2. Press 1. Knees down. Hips up and back to the air. Reach your arms forward. Puppy pose. Stretching out here. Get some nice extension through the upper spine. Breathing into the back body. Beautiful. Inhale and coming forward. And onto your belly. We're not done yet, son. Let's keep going. So, squeezing your legs together. That's the trick here. That's what will truly work your muscles. Try not to let your legs spread apart. Keep them nice and together. And now, hands behind you. We're going to do some locust lifts. Really activate this entire back chain of the body. Because when we don't have a strong booty and back muscles here, that can cause a lot of pain here and force us to rely on destabilizing our joints and our flexibility through movement rather than true strength. So let's do it, y'all. You're going to lengthen through the spine as you lift, squeeze, squeeze those legs together, squeeze the booty, lengthen, lengthen, reach your arms forward, and down. We're gonna do 10 of these, so lengthen as you lift. Squeeze, 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 but keep those shoulders down and away, not hunched up here. Really drawing back down. And down, that's 1. We got 10 to go, so I want you to really focus here on lengthening. Imagine you could lengthen your tailbone and top of your head, away from each other. Create that space in the neck and shoulders. Let's do it, y'all. Inhale up. Breathe. And down. That's 2. Make sure, press on your booty. Make sure both glutes are working evenly here. And 4. Squeeze those feet together. Lift up just a centimeter higher than you think you can. That's 6. Lifts to the point where your legs and booty start to shake a little bit. 7. 8. Y'all got it, so strong. 9. And 10. Hold it, hold it, hold it. And drop down. Good job, y'all. Now bend your knees. We're gonna inhale, come up to a cobra. And exhale, melt back down. Inhale, and now I want you to tuck the pelvis even as you do this to create some space in the low back. So we want to tuck and squeeze the glutes here so we're not just crunching into these lower vertebrae. Again, as you lift up, really lengthen. Lengthen as you lift. Last one. And down. And now reaching your hands behind you. I really should have worn a hair tie for this. We're gonna squeeze the glutes, roll those shoulders back and open, and inhale up, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And now here, don't just let your neck drop back, but really lift it up towards the top of the ceiling. And guys, even if this is feeling really tight and challenging, like you can still do this from here and roll your shoulders back and really squeeze the glutes and really try to work that same like back body muscle to lift those legs up. And just breathe and tell your body that like this is all good, this is safe. Yes, maybe we're pushing our comfort zone a little bit here. The best thing you can do is just like use your breath to communicate with your body that it is okay to move into a deeper range. It is safe to do it. You're all good, and just be patient. And then slowly lowering down, release the legs, hands by your side, inhale, cobra. And now keeping those shoulders down and elbows in, not like this, nice and lifted. Tuck the toes, pull the core in, lift the hips up and back for downward dog, shake the head out, no. And take a moment here to walk out through the legs. We're gonna stretch out some of our lower body muscles here to release some stiffness and tension in the hips. So inhale that right leg up to the sky, keep your ribs and core in, not dumping out here through the ribs, but really whoosh, nice and active. And exhale, coming forward, lowering down into a pigeon, okay? So I want you to, we're gonna do this again and really see where our true mobility is. So what I see a lot is people coming here and then getting down here and then kind of like finagling their way deeper into the pose using the floor. And that's not using your active mobility, that is like passive. So I want you to really see, really be true to yourself. How far can you get that leg and how much rotation can you get just using your core to then lower down and just place it. Don't then start shifting around to try and get it deeper. Truly see where your strength and your mobility really lies, okay? So bring it forward, use the core, pull it in, rotate, use those rotation muscles, and then drop down. Okay, then we're just gonna stay there, all right? All right, so once you've got that, and if you need to shift a little so your knee's a little more comfortable, that's fine, but we're really trying to see where our true mobility is, okay? Now before we just collapse over and stretch, do a little active mobility. So sitting up nice and tall here, Flex the foot if the knee is hurting. If the knee is hurting, bring that foot in. Do this a little gentler, okay? And bring arms out behind you, core in, ribs in. We're not flaring out here. You're gonna inhale, lengthen to lower, squeeze the booty here. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, lengthen to lower like you're doing a plank. Activate that core. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale. If you want more challenge, bring your arms up. Last one. Beautiful, and now taking a moment here to stretch. And breathing into your belly. Really activate that diaphragmatic breath here. Get a nice stretch through the hip. Nice, just telling your body it's time to relax. Beautiful, and inhale, pressing up. Now what we're gonna do is straighten back here and across that leg. Bring it out to the side. I'm gonna let you decide what angle you want. If you want a really wide angle or a shallow angle, slightly turn out that other knee and then sink your hips back. So just like you would in a child's pose, but now we've got this leg out in front of us. If you would like to grab a bolster or pillow for some support here, go ahead and do that where you're stretching out and really trying to target the inner thigh and hamstring. But while we're here, I want you to breathe into the back and into the spine. Relax the shoulders, relax the jaw. This moment to stretch here. Beautiful, coming up, coming forwards, coming here into this little lunge, and then tuck that back toe in one nice strong movement, working our hip mobility and core strength. We're gonna push into the floor and press back to that three-legged dog here. Nice strong movement, and coming down, switching sides, left leg comes up. Now we're gonna do the same thing, really work our mobility and try and just truly land where our body will let us and not use the floor to move us deeper into the stretch, okay? So coming forwards, really use that core to draw that leg forwards, and then rotate as much as you can, and then just set it down from there, okay? Now we're just gonna stay there. So now that we're here, adjust yourself if your knee's feeling funky at all. Hands back. Now we're gonna inhale, come forward. Exhale, point that back toe. Really working our full body mobility here. This is so good for your hip mobility and really working your turnout and that active stretching, baby. Hands forward if you would like to challenge yourself. Really using the core and glutes to work together to move the spine here. And then you can come down and breathe, relax for a moment, get into that hip stretch, and breathe into the belly so you can really relax that right hip flexor. Just taking a moment to send your body some love and some gratitude. Really listen, really tune in, see if there's any way you can adjust yourself to feel better in the pose, to allow for deeper breath and more ease. Pressing up, gonna lift, untuck that leg, and then send the hips back into that child's pose. Modification here. Ooh, getting a nice stretch to that inner thigh. And then breathe wherever you are. Breathe into the back body. Pressing forward into that lunge position here, and then in one nice strong movement, pressing back, using the core. Beautiful, coming down. Take one last moment in down dog here. We'll take an inhale fully. Exhale, side out. Looking forward, we are going to bend our knees and hop to a cross-seated position. Take your bolster or pillow, put it under the knees in preparation for our Shavasana. But first we're gonna roll down here and bring that right leg in. You can relax that left leg on top. We're just going to flex and straighten as we lift our head off and point. So what we're doing here might not feel like that much, but we are flossing our sciatic nerve here by flexing our foot. We're really pulling. You might feel a little bit more of a stretch in your hamstring, and then pointing, we're kind of flossing it back the other direction towards our head. So if the head is too much, you can just lift it up when you point and put it down when you flex. We're kind of flossing that nerve back and forth. So this should hopefully free up any stuckness in that sciatic nerve, help it glide a little bit more easily in the fascia so that it's less impinged on and really less pain. Beautiful, straighten that down and other leg, okay? So decide if you would like to, how you would like to use your head, if you want to really move it, or if you just want to keep it up or down. I like to kind of go lift it off when I point and drop it back so I can really get that nerve moving. And again, this is gonna feel really subtle. It's more about how you'll feel afterwards by freeing up this nerve than getting a really intense stretch right here and now. Beautiful. I'll give the back of your neck a little massage there after doing that, and release that leg down. So we got the pillow or bolster under our legs here so that our low back can really relax towards the floor. Find a comfortable place for your arms to be. And gently rock your head back side to side, massage out the back of the skull. And we're just going to breathe here for a few minutes, and I want you to really imagine that as you inhale, you are drawing energy up through the legs, up through the pelvis and the spine, up to the top of the head. And exhaling that energy back out, down through the spine, down through the legs, out through the soles of the feet. Just visualizing and feeling that prana is flowing up and down your body, kind of giving you an energetic massage and feeling that ripple throughout your body. focus go and just letting the mind drop into that state where you feel like you're almost about to fall asleep, but still staying slightly conscious here and just dropping down towards the floor. Let your body really feel heavy and relaxed. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead, take a big stretch. Exhale, pull the core down to the floor to lift those legs up and in. And give yourself a little rock side to side here, massaging out the low back. Rocking to one side to gently press up. We'll seal off the practice here. Sitting nice and tall, letting your sits bones drop to the floor, feeling your spine lifting upwards from there. Inhale. Exhale down to the heart. Thank you for joining me for practice today. I hope your spine is feeling nice and fluid, feeling a little worked, a little relaxed at the same time. One thing I would really suggest to start integrating into your weekly practice to prevent spine injuries is really get your core strength on point. This has been a good practice to kind of relax and rejuvenate and do a little bit of strengthening, but deep core strengthening and glute strengthening, getting those two to really work in tandem together is one of the best things that you can do in a dancer to really make sure that your glutes are firing properly and making sure that you know how to activate the deepest layers of your core, not just the superficial six-pack layers. We really want the muscles that are closest to these bones to be working and really supporting the movement of the hips and the spine and everything. So I have lots of resources for that on the channel, lots of core strengthening stuff. And if this is something that really interests you, if you really want to learn more about your body, learn about the fascia, your nervous system, your anatomy, and how to best integrate knowledge of healthy alignment into your movement and really train up your body to be bulletproof in your movement as you dance and really get a strong training regimen outside of the dance class so that when you are dancing, you feel confident in knowing that you are doing it in the most proper, healthy, aligned, strong, balanced way. That's exactly what we do inside of my signature 90-day program, Yoga for Dance Academy, which is the next level of times 1,000 of what we do here on the YouTube channel. This is an in-depth one-on-one and group coaching mentorship program where you get to join a small dedicated group of other amazing dancers who are really focused on their holistic well-being, not only physically but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, so that you can be able to show up as your best self, not only as a dancer but as a human, and really work through any blockages that you are having physically in your body, keeping you from being able to access your full range of motion, and any mental, emotional blockages, things that are keeping you in self-sabotage and really not living to your full potential, and just breaking through all of those physical and mental boundaries so you can just fucking live your best life and go all out in everything that you do, whether that's just being a human or dancing in the studio. So I will post a link down below so you can learn more about that. We will be accepting new students soon. Join the waitlist. This is a really, really special, in-depth program. So thank you for practicing with me, y'all. Find me on Instagram. I would love to answer your questions, or if you're having any weird bodily issues as you're dancing, you really want to prevent injuries, I'm here for you. Let me be a resource for you. Hit me up anytime. I'm always taking requests for more classes, for whatever you guys need, whatever you need support in. I got y'all. Thank you for practicing, my friends. So much love to you. Go drink some water. Mwah!